Hello, kids out there. Today, I'm here to read you a bedtime story to help you fall asleep. Now, today's story is George Flies South by Simon James. I love this story. It's a really good one. I'll read it to you. Title page. George Flies South. The leaves on the trees were turning brown. Winter was coming. Lots of birds were heading south. It was time for George to learn to fly. "Are you ready, George?" asked his mom. "Not quite," said George. "I might fall. I think I like my nest best. Will you get some worms, Mom? I'll stay here." While George waited, a strong gust of wind swept through the park. It tore through the branches, scattering the leaves everywhere. George's nest wobbled. And lifted into the air. "Look, Mom," said George. "Look at me. I'm flying. Whee!" Wow, that would be so much fun to fly. But George's mom was too far away. She couldn't hear him calling. When he flew back, George and his nest were gone. "George, George," she cried, "where are you now?" I wonder where George could be. "I'm here, Mom," called George. "I flew down in my nest." Then, without warning, George and his nest were on the move again. "I'm going south, Mom," asked George. "Wait, am I going south, Mom?" asked George. Let's see where he goes. "Hold on," shouted his mom. "I'm coming." But George couldn't hold on, and his nest took off into the air. "Look at me, Mom, look at me," said George. "I'm flying again." Wow, he's flying again. "You can't stay here, George," said his mom. "You've got to leave your nest. Try to flap your wings." George tried. "Try harder." "What are we going to do, Mom?" Let's see what they're going to do if he can't fly. Finally, the boat stopped. George was lifted up, up, up into the air. "Don't move, George," said his mom. Let's see what the mother will do to save him. George looked down. He was glad he was still in his nest. "Don't worry," said his mom. "We'll try again tomorrow." George curled up and fell fast asleep. I think he's on a construction site. The next morning, George awoke with a start. "Look out, George," shouted his mom. The kitten's trying to eat him. Crack! The cat landed. George's nest began to fall. "Don't worry, Mom. I'm all right," shouted George. Down, down, down he fell. Twig by twig, the nest fell apart, until George was the only one left. "Mom," cried George, "I've lost my nest. What is he going to do?" Dun, dun, dun. Okay. "George, you have to flap your wings," shouted his mom. "Now it's time." George tried really hard. "You can do it," said his mom. I'm trying, said George, and with a deep breath and a huge beat of his wings, George flew! Yay! I knew you could do it, George, said his mom. I'm ready to fly south now, said George. Let's go. I hope there's lots of worms. The end. I love this story because it's all about a little bird that gets lost on its way on finding out how to fly. And that's really cool. It's an important message. Don't give up, kids. You'll always learn how to fly if you keep trying, with a little help of your friends and family. Good night. Have a nice night.